Rocket. I'm gonna put him in the B because I don't actually know where to put him. I see some people play Rocket and they do really good. I see some Rocket players and they suck balls.
Yeah, shut that shit up. Hello everyone, my name is Ishi and I'm going to show you guys how to play this character. Rocket Raccoon is the funnest support to play in Marvel Rivals if you know how to play him correctly. And I'm going to show you this by commentating over one of my games I literally just recorded. Before I commentate, I want to point out two key components you have to understand in order to play Rocket at a high level. The first thing you have to understand or realize is that Rocket has arguably the best movement options in the game. He has two jetpack boosters which can be used to quickly engage, disengage, or just go to a high place where enemies have a hard time getting to you. He also has an omnidirectional wall climb, which basically means you can quickly change directions where you're climbing. Not many players know this, but his wall climb is significantly faster than his normal walking speed, so you should be taking full advantage of that as well. The next thing you have to understand in order to play Rocket is map layouts. Map knowledge is particularly important for Rocket because you have to know where to place your respawn beacons. You also have to understand the map layout in order to use the movement options I mentioned before effectively. Finally, you have to understand where your healing balls are going to go if you ricochet them, which is a feature you should try to take advantage of as well in order to maximize your healing output. Alright, now let's start the scuffed ass commentary. Off the bat here, you see me writing on Groot. You only want to use the Groot team up ability if the enemy team is running a dive comp due to the damage reduction buff you get. But this rarely happens since characters like Hela and Hawkeye are heavily meta right now. If the enemy team is running poke characters like Hela and Hawkeye, which is going to be most of your games, then you shouldn't ride Groot since you could easily get picked off his back. Here, I'm focusing a bit more on damage rather than healing since I notice my teammates are doing relatively well on health. Notice how I target the tanks since they're the enemies closest to me. Rocket's machine gun is only good in close quarters due to the bullet spread, but he makes up for the spread with his fire rate. This allows him to shred tanks' health bars quickly at close range. Notice how I used my jetpack to engage and pick off the tank that was low HP, then quickly turned around and used my rocket again to escape and heal myself. I notice one of their tanks is out of position and shoot at them, but notice how I lead my shots by shooting where they're going rather than where they are. This is because Rocket's bullets have travel time before they hit their target. Notice how I use my rocket jetpack and hover abilities to get to a place where I can heal this teammate. Also, notice how I'm focusing on healing since my team is in a fight and getting heavily oppressed with ults and abilities. Since I'm low HP and the Thor is on me, I quickly wall climb away to safety and my team picks him off for me. I try to throw my respawn beacons in a relatively secluded area near our backline, so enemies have trouble destroying it. I see a lot of new Rocket players use their respawn beacon in the open so their teammates can easily get the armor packets it drops, but the little bit of extra HP you get is nowhere near as valuable as giving your teammate a second life in the battle. I know I can't beat this Namor in a one-on-one fight from that range, so I just sit in a place where he can't see me, but I can just heal my teammates from afar. Once he's forced into a close range fight, I pick him off. I notice my teammates are struggling on HP, so I try my best to heal and keep my teammates alive while I take advantage of my movement to ensure that I stay alive as well. As a support player, it should always be your goal to have the least amount of deaths on the team. I use my ult here to give my team the advantage during this team fight, which pushes the enemies back, giving us more space. Though I end up getting picked off here, my team ends up winning the fight. On defense, I maintain a safe distance behind my tanks as I do a good balance of damage and healing. Notice how I'm purposefully bouncing my healing orbs off the wall so my teammates get healing as the orb gets close to them and as it bounces back. I hear Jeff the Shark use his ult, and I try to spread out away from my teammates to give his ult less value, and he ends up completely whiffing the best ult in the game. I think my favorite part about Rocket's playstyle is that it allows you to be the annoying little rodent he is. Being able to quickly engage and disengage from fights whenever you want is an extremely underrated ability for a support character. Notice how I completely focus on damaging this Thor as he's out of position. With me shooting at his big hitbox from this range, there was no chance he was surviving that. Here, my team is kinda getting clapped on, so I just play my life since Rocket has good survivability. Even though my tank dies right there, it doesn't matter too much since I had a respawn beacon nearby and the enemy team only has like 10 seconds left to get to the point. You see me go into this off-angle position behind the statue thing, which allows me to stay in a relatively safe position while dealing damage to this tank. Imagine how annoying it must have been for this tank to stay on the objective while getting shot at from two different directions. And this pretty much wraps up the match. I finished off the game going 19-3 with the least amount of deaths in the lobby, most assists, and most elims out of any healer. I really enjoyed playing as Rocket, but clearly the enemy team didn't enjoy the match as much as me. My purpose for this video is to show people that Rocket is competitively viable and shouldn't necessarily be seen as a throw pick. Due to the current meta in the game, Luna, Slow, and Mantis are definitely the most popular support characters for comp since they can do solid damage from far range, but if the meta shifts away from poke characters to more close range brawl fights, I can definitely see Rocket being used more often. If you're a support player looking to have some fun, I definitely recommend giving Rocket a chance. Anyways, have a good one.